Live from Silicon Valley in the San Francisco Bay Area. Phil Amal here with eXp Realty. I hope you had a great weekend and that your week got off to a good start. I was in Sacramento showing properties to my clients, Kirk and Kelly, looking for their next home in the Sacramento area. Shout out to Kirk and Kelly. We will find you the right house very soon. I can feel it. Now, I have a question for you. What tools are you using if you're looking for a house or you want to get an idea of what's going on in your local market? What tools are you looking to search for those houses? There are a number of different websites: Zillow, Redfin, realtor.com, to name a few. And you're able to search. And if you're looking in a particular area, those websites, for the most part, they are pulling information from the multiple listing service for that area. And the multiple listing service, or the MLS, is the source of truth. It's the database that real estate agents are using to list homes for sale, to upload photos, provide descriptions of those homes. And so, for example, from my area in the Bay Area, our MLS is called MLS Listings. And if I have a new listing, I am putting my listing on MLS Listings, and then that information gets syndicated out to all these realtor.com, Zillow, Redfin, and other sites, so that you will be able to see from those sites those same photos, the same description that the public can see. Very useful, right? And you can set up search alerts. I know people use Redfin to set up search alerts. However, if you're getting that information from these consumer-oriented sites, you're not seeing the full picture of what is available on the market. You're not seeing what real estate agents can see in terms of information about what's going on behind the scenes with a particular listing. Or there are some listings that may be on the MLS that the seller doesn't want to have open houses and market it broadly. They just want to market it through the agent network. So you need to have a real estate agent to show you that property if you're interested. What I want to do is kind of run a comparison of a consumer-oriented site, and I'll just take Redfin as an example. So let me share the Redfin interface first. Okay, now here's Redfin, and I just put in the zip code for San Carlos, which is where I live. So if I run a search of the single family homes that are for sale at the moment in San Carlos, get a result of 9 homes. All right, and again, I can see all of the photos that the agents can see, or people getting direct feeds from the MLS can see all the information about the home. And I have a home value here that Redfin provides. It's just kind of an estimate, kind of like your Zestimate for Zillow. All right, so let me now, I'm going to go to MLS Listings. Okay, so the app that MLS Listings uses is called Matrix. And when I run a search for that same zip code, so I'm running a search for 94070 San Carlos, and I want to look at all of the active single family home listings in San Carlos. When I look at those results, let me just make sure you guys can see that. Yeah, okay, so I get 16 results. Now recall with Redfin, let me go back to my Redfin search. I only had 9 results here in Redfin. All right. Okay, so I want to go for single family homes on Redfin. I had 9 results. So what's the difference? Well, you can see in the MLS, there's these listings here that have this M by it. This M means that only members, i.e., real estate agents, can have access and visibility to the home and are able to show it. And if I go into this listing, I could see that there's the public remarks, and then there's this private remark that says, call this person to schedule a showing. She's the listing agent. So this listing, 2133 Greenwood Avenue, is not even visible from Redfin. If you're just looking for what's available on the market, you're not going to find that listing. And again, it's because the seller, they don't want to stage the home. They don't want to have open houses. They want to find a buyer through the agent network. So it's important that you're working with a realtor who can provide you with this direct feed. And what I do with my clients is I set up a search alert for them based on whatever they're looking for: the size of the home, the area, maybe the age, the year built is important to them, and of course the price range that they're looking in. So I can set up a specific search for them that they will receive alerts from this Matrix MLS feed. Now, another um, comparison that I wanted to show you is, let's say that there is a listing here that you could see on Redfin. So let's take this one here, 424 Hillcrest Road. This is an active listing, and you have the description here. And it's been on the market only for about a week. And then if I go to Matrix, I'll also be able to see that listing here. Now, you would think it would be the same description, photos, everything. Yes, that is the same. But again, if you look at this private remarks, which the general public cannot see, it says, agents, no need to preview, shows beautifully. And then here's the key information: offers, if any, to be reviewed on Thursday, January 18th at 12 noon. In other words, this house has gotten so much interest that the listing agent has set an offer due date. So if you're interested in this house, you need to know if there's a deadline for getting your offer in. You need to know what type of competition is out there for this particular house. And if you're working with an agent, your agent should be able to get that behind the scenes information. Your agent should be on the phone with the listing agent, asking a lot of questions. How much interest? How many showings have you had? When is the offer deadline? What are your sellers looking for? Maybe price, of course, price is going to be an important factor. Maybe they want a quick close, a short escrow, short as possible, or maybe they want a longer escrow process, or maybe they're going to need a rent back. These are the types of information, pieces of information that you're going to want as you're putting together an offer. So that's, again, the type of information that you're going to get through your agent. And then the other thing I wanted to highlight is when I set up a search alert from my client, I can see I have these different searches set up for clients that I'm working with. And for example, when my client, they have their own portal where they're kind of going through the properties that meet their search criteria, and then they might favorite a property. Like here, you see this favorite, this heart. I'm able to see this when they mark that property. Okay, so if you're in Redfin and you're saving a property or you're favoriting a property, your agent can't see that unless you notify them, you send them an email, you forward the listing to them. But that's a manual process. Whereas if you're working with me and I have this portal set up for you, once you favorite that property, I get an alert or I'm monitoring it. And then as soon as I see that, I'm on the phone to the listing agent. I'm finding out, asking those questions. How much interest do you have? Do you have a disclosure package? A lot of times there will be disclosures available online. Maybe the seller's got an inspection report done. You can review that inspection report in advance to see if there's any major issues or repairs that are needed. And all of that information goes into the process of putting together an offer and making a decision on whether this is the right home for you. All right. So, having said all that, let me tell you one thing, one piece of information that is not going to be necessarily visible in the MLS, but will be visible on a site like Redfin. If you go back to this search, here's a house. Aha, here, this one, for sale by owner. This is on Redfin, 1047 McHugh Avenue. And I don't believe it shows up in my MLS search because this seller has chosen not to work with an agent. They're not listing this property on the MLS. They're just going direct to these consumer-oriented websites like Zillow, Redfin, and realtor.com. Now, if you're working with an agent, absolutely have your agent contact this owner. If this owner is just an individual seller, they're not a licensed realtor, they may not know what the paperwork, what the contract that is used for most property sales in California is. They may not know what disclosures they need to make to a potential buyer. And so a real estate agent can still help facilitate that transaction, even if it's for sale by owner. And the how the real estate agent gets compensated can be worked out between the buyer, the seller, and the agent. So it still behooves you to work with an agent on these for sale by owner listings. And the agent, myself, I can also be monitoring Redfin and Zillow and looking for these for sale by owner opportunities. All right, so that is what I have for you today on the tools that are available to you to find that right house for you. Now, if you're viewing this on YouTube, in the description below this video, I have a link that will provide you with a free buyer's guide, a free seller's guide. Just go to that link. Do ask for your email address. And that's just so that I can send you my weekly update on what's going on in the Silicon Valley real estate market. I try and provide insight and useful information on market dynamics, as well as just information about Silicon Valley, the Bay Area. What are some restaurants that I like? What are some events that are happening in the community. If you don't want to receive it, you can unsubscribe at any time. And also, if you want to have a free consultation, a chat about buying or selling a home in the Bay Area, just reach out to me, email. You could call or text me. My contact info is in the description below. I'm Philip Ma with eXp Realty, and I look forward to talking with you next week.